Welcome back, everybody, to Spirit Plays More Spiral Knights. Before we begin, if you could, please click the like button, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. It does help us out a lot. The community gets stronger. That being said, I got over 20k. This is just unfathomable how we can withstand Punch's children starving to death. We have to help this guy out, man. And anything just about's better than slime low. Here goes ASI very high. I mean, we've only given you like 3,000 billion crowns, and that's, I mean, now it's just an anti-fiend weapon, really. It's, if you're talking about racism here, holy crap, dude. Anyway, let's, we need, just give you an update. If you haven't been paying attention to the Acheron challenge, which has been like past like 50 episodes, is just to get the Acheron to level 10. And that's kind of my fault. I chose a couple arcade passes, which one I think netted 6 ratings, the other netted like 3. We have 24. We're going to do Dreams and Nightmares. Hopefully get 40, and then we can just use the medium, the middle one. If you're confused as to why I just don't do like 3 or 4 and then go with 100% chance, well, I suppose I could, if you want to be not a gambling man, which is what I am not. We're going to do a public party, because why not? We make some strange acquaintances as we go on. Miles knows freaking cat breeding season. People get sick of the breeding cats, man. Everyone turns into you. Look at the giant. I'm not gonna spend too much time waiting here. The giant picture that's being made for our guild that was commissioned. I actually donated to this too, because I like artists. Just feed artists, man. Just like Punch, artists need food. But they're all like 90% of my cat hats, except for me. I have my shadows on that because I'm old and I can't stray from my ways. That's just how things are. So we might do some cat hunting after this. I don't know. We might not do a whole lot of anything. We just rolled on our griffin, getting all the shackles out of the system too. I have not. I gotta be honest with you. I have not played Dreams and Nightmares with graphics on anything but super low. So I'm not sure how it's gonna affect frame rate. I'm not sure how it's gonna be when it comes to our dodging capabilities or the Java engine or anything else. All I know is I have a lot of coffee in my system, and I'm continuing to drink more regardless of, you know, the kind of better judgment my body sends out. And this is the first video I've done in Spiral Knights anyway, since we got done with the camping. I mean, it was a beautiful scene. Let me describe for you just the premise of it. My wife's phone died on our way to the campsite. We only camped for 3 days. I said, okay. She's like, do you think we should go back and get a charger? And it's like 5 minutes into the drive. I'm like, if we're going to, we got to go now. She said, well, so keep in mind, 2 kids, organizing, packing, all this stuff. Trying to negotiate with an army that doesn't want to listen to you. A tiny army that its vocabulary is not too high. So we're stressed. She says, what do you think? I'm like, well, no, I don't think we need it. So the entire time, she's like, how are we going to know when breakfast is? I'm like, no, the premise is, she said, how are you going to know when to wake up? I'm like, when the sun goes up. How are you going to know when to eat? Like, when we're hungry. How are you going to know when to go to sleep? I'm like, when the sun goes down. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I had my phone, it was fully charged, but I turned it off the entire time. So if you guys were, but I had it on once in a while. A couple of things happened there, which I'll get into. It was pretty neat. Kind of adventure, to say the least. But every time I turned it on to check a text, it was necessary. I should probably be looking at the map here. There we go. Oh, that's probably bad. Yep, I saw that coming. Think about being a pessimist, man. You're always right. What is hitting me? Should probably pay attention to that too, I guess. Easy. Did you see us thread that needle? It's almost like we played this mission 3,000 times before. But land, don't worry, we got you. Single shots from the Winter Grave. Oop, easy. Okay, I'm glad Bland's actually here right now. That doesn't happen too much. So it was amazing. If you have not done a tech-free weekend, or sorry, not even a weekend or a day, just like multiple days, throw the tech away, dude. You don't need it. I don't know, how did mankind get by before our affluent society decided to understand that because we're mortal and because we're post-enlightenment, We have to view every single second of our life as a currency because it's only finite, and therefore, if we're not using our currency to its utmost potential, aka, that was just bad, aka, always doing something, always being busy, giving into the ADD lifestyle. Did you see that hit? Verlaine's getting better, dude, I swear. When she's here, anyway. It's like a dad that, he's rich, but he only shows up once a year. Well, it's kind of like, well, thanks, but honestly, we are made happy by what we appreciate, not by what we obtain. So, I mean, you can't buy love, dude. Turns out when people get what they want, if they ask for it right away, it actually gets a sort of a more affluence and more embitterment title. But anyway, I digress. The couple things happened. First off, that entire situation with I've never led a camp before. I thought it was really neat. So I did lead the camp, sort of. My wife basically organized it, but I was a leader. So let's face it, we don't have to go this way unless there's another. No, we don't. We probably don't need this key either. I'm guessing it unlocks that area there. But we'll take it anyway, because this game throws you through some loops sometimes, man. So we went swimming. There was this, it was a lake, or a Pinchot Lake. Wasn't too far from our house. Honestly, I know people have been trying to give me tips on where to go camping. Hey. Ah! My common courtesy almost got me hit again. So they've been trying to give me tips on where to go camping. Everyone's like, it's 5 hours away. It's a perfect spot. And I'm like, well, I kind of like... The ambulance sounds kind of weird. I'm kind of cool with just being as close to home as humanly possible. Especially, like, we were literally 10 yards from the beach. The beach on the lake, right? It wasn't technically, I guess, a beach on the ocean. I don't even know if there was a difference, honestly. But it was quite neat. We could literally just walk there. And which we did several times. Oh, right into it. Attaboy. I'm gonna itch on my face. I don't have time for this dodging stuff. Real life problems. But anyway, it was neat. We went to the beach. The entire, like, you can. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but you can literally just watch fish swim beneath your feet. Don't drink the water though. That's always a bad idea in a public creek. We went canoeing, convincing the 3-year-old that it's a bad idea to stand up whenever you're trying to negotiate a boat that doesn't self-balance. It was quite a neat feat. I don't know why I'm fighting these guys. Maybe I just want to shoot something. Go! Don't even say anything. Just go. They're on you. Now it's not the time to be polite. He understands. There we go. Did I get it in? Come on, Java. Crap. Okay, we did it. But it was neat seeing, and we did that, and so we put the vest on the 3-year-old, and she got to pretend like she actually could swim, and the 8-year-olds have experimenting and almost, put herself in the deep end. The area's roped off, because eventually seaweed starts growing out there, and it feels kind of weird on your feet and stuff. You can't see the bottom of the pool, or whatever you want to call it. And so when something touches your leg, it's one thing if you could see it, but you can't see it, and that's what's weird. And you're just like, I'd be alright. I'd be a lot better off if I could see it, but you couldn't. You just had to guess what was tickling your leg, but oftentimes it felt like some brambles and stuff like that. So you're like, Then there's one point where I stepped on something like sandpaper. I wasn't really sure, but then I couldn't find it again, so I was afraid it was a snapping turtle or something. I'm not sure. Not sure. And when you're not sure, as we've seen from our current economy, uncertainty makes everybody freaking weird and wacko. This is why your decisions on God and your basis for morality and reasoning are very important. Because if you don't decide it on your how do you find truth? Best evidence, right? If you don't decide this stuff on the best evidence that's around you, not trying to pitch your narrative, but what's legit the best evidence, then you're going to be in trouble, man. Evidence is amazingly good for a lot of reasons. And if your evidence does not, other way we go, does not align itself with reality, it's time to change your mind. Per Michael Knowles, which I think is a very good quote. And I'm stealing it and using it probably repeatedly. I probably said that a couple times already. Anyway, so we we swam. They basically clung to me like I was a giant life preserver and said, "Daddy, be a washing machine. Daddy, be a speedboat. Daddy, throw us 3 million miles to the left, and then we'll cry because you threw us so high we went underwater." If you're under the age of 7, apparently, if you were underwater, it produces extreme emotional stress and makes you cry. I mean, there's a lot of things wrong with going underwater, apparently. So now my daughters have opted to take showers. That's what they do. They don't agree with the bath philosophy anymore. Every time I hear the ambulance going on outside here, I keep thinking it's one of my kids crying. We had a lot of that. A lot of emotional stress when dealing with the tiny people. It's just, comes with being a parent. I can't wait till Northern Lion starts having kids and having them on his commentary. So it'll just be great. But he doesn't have a full. I mean, this is his full-time job. So imagine if I'm trying to imagine this. If I took my daughters, regardless if they could or could not drive forklifts, if I took them to work and tried to have them there while I was leading a crew, like my whole job is basically to tell adult toddlers what to do throughout the day. But they're not toddlers; they're adults, and they got issues, just like everybody else. I got issues too. Oh, no, I knew we were gonna do that. It's okay. Everybody's got issues, man. I got to meet a lady there and talk about my philosophy on. She kept telling her son, 6 feet, bud, 6 feet. Kid's like 7 or 8. You just want to talk with my daughters. They were all watching our kids swim and having a good time, but like every 5 seconds, distance, bud, distance. Or Goose, I think his name was Goose. Her name was Elizabeth. So we had a good talk. I told her my philosophy on the whole thing. She said, I'm on the opposite spectrum. A lot of people that I know got the coronavirus and actually didn't recover. I'm like, wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Because whenever somebody comes at you from that angle, arguing facts never works. You need to be sympathetic because it's always hard to say an earthly goodbye, regardless of what worldview you're from. So we didn't get into the God thing, but I did say that, in our philosophy, I believe that God gave us a good immune system. And if you're really you're that much afraid about losing your life, we should not drive a car because the death rate there is just extremely high. She didn't fire back, so I'm guessing it's heated for me because actually it's not really. I put my ear out of politics. Now I'm just extremely forgiving. Ben Shapiro is making me a very angry man because there's no like it's like people that won't listen. It's like arguing with my toddler. I can choose to be sympathetic, or I can choose just to ignore her. I could choose to get mad, right? You don't have to. I use this on my wife. I use this on my kids too. And then, oh, jeez. And for good reason, my wife also uses it on me. You're the only one saying that. I think she's using it on me. I'm not sure. That's one line that tends to work a lot. So especially if someone's being very negative about themselves. I can never do that, or I can't do that. That's not fair. If you're the only one saying that, you're the only one encouraging that line of the thought process. It works a lot. You have to watch out for the context, though, because then you're, oh, no. Just right into it. Can you jump? There we are. Context is very important for a lot of stuff. I just want to really... Oh, come on now. Really, really, really want to zig. Every time I say that. Spice Girls just keep coming back, man. You gotta get with my friends. And it lasts forever. Friendship never ends. I protest that shot. Let us go partake of our hearts, which we dutifully earned, and start to take out the skeletons. So while I was in full-on camp gear, socks and everything, I was feeling like man dad. I wear a longer version of a darrow. I'm quite a cowboy hat. I've gotten to the point where I'm not. I don't like wearing caps. I wear caps at work just because I have to make more appearances, better appearance there. Like if I showed up as a leadership role at work, and you can show up basically however you want if it's based on the the view of people around you. If you dress like the culture, but I try to be, regardless of how dressed up or down I am, I try to be clean shaven, deodorant on. We all forget sometimes, so I literally put an extra stick in my my locker just in case. No one wants to talk to their boss now and be stinky and be like, you know what, I'm not coming to him with my problems for the rest of the day because he's stinky. How are you supposed to coordinate events that go on if people don't talk to you? Right? It's just something to think about if you ever choose to be in a leadership role. Leadership roles are highly dangerous these days, though, because we live in a world of unforgiveness, And everything you said 20 years ago on Facebook, you can be held accounted for. Oh, that was a bad time to use that. All right. That was probably the worst place to use that too. Where the shot has to at least knock you sideways a little bit, just to, if anything, give you insurance to get out of the way of these red projectiles that continue to come up. Like right now, we're probably going to soak this and then jump back. Here we go. We can give you a play-by-play. Like, that's an okay one. Now we got to wait for a minute. We need those hearts, because there is one-shot protection, at least in this level. I'm noticing maybe some of the others, if your defense isn't that good, you just don't have that one-shot protection. And the idea here, we use Mike's, or the Drakens, rather, but we use, oh no, that was bad. Yep, right into it. We deserve it. Should have seen that coming. But we use the, we want the Draken's ability to be refreshed, not by this wave, but by the wave after that, where it has the lumbars and the spike turrets. We don't mind them. We don't mind the gremlins so much. We might want to take them out first, but every time I just kind of, every time I try to like single out a certain enemy, it seems like the other one gets me. So if I just like shoot center mass and kill as much as humanly possible, that seems to work out a lot better. Like right now, get out of my face. Boom. Beautiful, beautiful. There's one left. I see him. We'll single shot this guy, just to leave us a little bit more flexible. There we go. It's not this one. Actually, we will use it on this one, because it just takes forever. One way or another, it just takes forever. Just add more fire into the mix, that's all. The flame shots, I forgot how cool they look, yo. And these dogs must be loyal to their zombie slave masters, because they just take shots from left and right. I thought I had my charge there, but I was mistaken. But anyway, I got myself in full dad gear. I think this is where I started that whole rant before. And I sprayed myself with bug spray, because I'm like, I'm going to be outside for a bit. I don't feel like getting eaten by mosquitoes. Now, granted, they go toward my wife and my daughters before they go to me. I haven't figured that one out yet, but that's just how it is. They're sweeter than me, right? We could say that. That would be very true. Dad must be, especially when dealing with a lot of girls, I got to teach them to be tough, even though they're female. And even if I had a boy, he'd have to be beyond tough in leadership. Girls still have to be tough too. You can't take crap that's not true. I teach them the same way. The same way. Truth is very important. Male and female alike. And sometimes you got to teach women to be even tougher than men. Apparently I blocked something there. Just not aware of what it was. Because women have to endure a lot. A friend asked me why, how in the Bible it'd be easy for a person to switch the male and the female role. In the Bible, the Bible says, woman came from man first. But maybe that was something that was not 100% true. Maybe woman came from man first. Or I mean the other way. Sorry, man came from woman. Woman's actually higher up. And I'm like, do you remember Noah and the ark? I'm like, do you realize how carnal man was when God said, I gotta destroy this place? Like, that's a mere pittance compared to people that, like, you look at the world and their constant thoughts are evil. You think people, like, there's some kind of a general assumption right now in our post-truth culture that everybody will just stop if you just get rid of the police, you get rid of law, you get rid of government. That everybody would suddenly just start being nice to each other. Where does this come from? Because the reality is, it's just something to question, right? I mean, you can agree with it. You can say it's okay, it's nice. But the reality is that that's not true. Because when you teach, and you'll get a much better perspective of this when you have children. Or you can just look at your own life in the past. You don't have to teach children how to be bad. They will do this all on their own. They will steal from each other. They will hit each other, say, sorry, I didn't mean to do it that hard, but only to appease you, the parent, who are trying to negotiate them into a better lifestyle. They will falsify documents, right? I got an A on my report card, Daddy, I swear. They'll do a whole bunch of things, and they'll negotiate. They'll say, do I really have to do that? My 3-year-old does this, like, constantly. You have to eat all your... It's the dinner thing, right? A lot of things happen at the dinner table. Dinner table's extremely vital. They actually did a study on this, and they said that one of the reasons that kids are not Speaking of kids, they're all streaming right now. We got back from camping. They're like, we need our tech, feed our brains nothingness. But the dinner table is where we work on our negotiation skills, right? Eat all your dinner and you can have dessert. Can I just eat one chicken? No. So mild disobedience is still disobedience. This is something that's taught in a lot of parenting books. That's not to say you shouldn't leave room for critical thinking. You shouldn't do things out of malice. The whole goal behind it is to have yourself. Eventually, your kids are going to be bolstering you. They're going to become intelligent people. Right now, they're still learning. They're still gaining the basic skill sets that are necessary to be an adult. And you must teach them and guide them into that point. Same with the youth. I mean, the brain technically doesn't stop. It reaches a point of where it doesn't heal as fast as you lose brain cells, technically, by your late 20s. So you're growing way more than you're losing. I would argue that, reading comprehension's already there's eventually a point where, yes, everybody reaches mental decline because that's just the way of nature and DNA and all that stuff. But but there is a way you can preserve it, just like there's a way to preserve the body. I met a guy that I worked with at FedEx, 15 years ago. He recognized me because I guess I looked the same. And he's like, but I didn't recognize him. His hair is longer, grayer, full mustache, beard, and boy, did he let himself go. He has the dad pot belly. This guy went I can't wait to hear his story because he went from FedEx manual labor, and I can tell you some more stories from there. FedEx Ground, much better company now than it was. He went from there to now he repairs violins. That's his passion. That's what he does. And I'm like, wow, he's like, turns out this is what I really just love doing. That's a very interesting thing to love doing, man. I'd love to hear your story. But both of our kids were calling us. So we were literally right in front of the lake there, and our kids were calling us to play. It's vacation time. We got to bond the family there. So, we'll talk later. If you watch my Spiral Nights vids, you'll understand if we don't have anything critical going on. You get to hear what goes on in the spirited good life. Or a good spirited life. I don't know. We all have issues we deal with. I try to come to the point of goodness. So you understand, 7. You understand that, my bedrock is Christ, and that's where I come from. And we got our spark back, boys. And some shinings, but who's counting? So we got the sparks. So we're given the story about how to look at reality, because that's how the Bible is. It's not a book on religion. It's a lens on how to view life. I thought you were something I could pick up for some reason. So the reality is, if you look at it in the Judeo-Christian worldview, Adam and Eve did not have to sin, but they could. But their nature was not to sin. Now, since that time, because it's now genetically built into us, we are by nature sinful. We will look at, and we can see this in our kids again, but we don't have to. You can resist. It's that constant struggle versus, I don't have to do this, but I want to do this. I can't tell you. You just see this in a young mind. All right. Anyway, let's see how we did. Beautiful moment of silence. I know I got a lot more camping to unpack here. 18 radiant's not good enough. Okay, but I think we have the 23-minute mark. What are we doing? It's cat season, right? I think I'll do it for this one though. No, it won't. Let's go do the prestige. 20 minutes is kind of cheapening the experience, I think. Any more camp stories to tell? 3 days is a long time, man. I mean, granted, a lot of that time was build up and tear down. We did not hit the radiant quota. Hazardous heist. That seems pretty good. Let's go. The radiant quota. And we haven't used... we haven't used in a while. L is for loadout. Arcade? Wait. Arcade swords? So what's this look like? Just a whole bunch of wrong buttons. And then we want... probably like this. And we could trade. I'm losing my mind here. What am I doing? Trinkets? Beautiful. And we go with shield, because this should be a non-invasive type area. We should be perfectly fine with whatever we choose to do. I just want to hit things with the Grand Faust, honestly. We'll use the Winter Grave if we need to. But I feel like smacking him upside the head. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, I think the original story I was trying to say before we went on a walk, or I wear shoes. Got flip-flops and shoes, right? So flip-flops are in a tent. Shoes are for adventuring. You got to equip their proper foot gear. If you're going to a place you do not know, actually instructing my students to do this, is you should dress for the occasion, right? If it's a place you're not sure of, would you really want to like be in a conflict with flip-flops on? And that's a serious question. You are representing our dojo. You're representing yourself. Do you really want to be known as the guy that gets his butt handed to him because he's wearing flip-flops? So, I mean, it's a serious question. Very serious. Sort of silly serious. Are you gonna, or do you want to be known as the guy that, you know what? Crap, I'm gonna date you with this. Give you a warrior's death per General Grievous. Anyway, I got dressed. That's what I was trying to get. I put bug spray all over me, because who wants to die by getting eaten by little bugs? Not this guy. Now here's our chance. Watcha! Not this guy. So I didn't. Sort of. Did I tell the story already? Dude. Oh no, I did on the Catacombs video, sorry. See, I sprayed myself with bug spray, and then, but I had my shoes on. So I took my shoes off and sat down. I literally was telling my daughter ghost stories, because she was like, please, can we tell ghost stories? She's 8. And she likes scary things. So I told her, like, kind of like my own rendition of Pet Sematary. It was very interesting. My wife was laughing at me the entire time. Whoop, missed you. Hey. Whoop, that's not right. Let's get our weapon switches down, boys. I think I hit him. Beautiful. Don't need the heat. Appreciate the coinage. We're not even into the prestige. Dude, some people have so much prestige, it is ridiculous. Like ludicrousy. Ludicrosy? Is that a word? If it is, we just made it up, and it's amazing. It's like Idiocracy. That was a great movie, which shows what happens when the world gets bred into stupidity. It's like Aldous Huxley's hilarious visual novel. Crap. I don't think we're going to be able to make it. Oh, there's tiny people. Bunch of toddlers are running after us. What do you guys think you're doing? What did you think was going to happen? Like my daughter, if she picks a fight with me, what do you think's going to happen? You steal your sister's soda right in front of her. What do you think's going to happen? Did you think it's going to be okay? Do you think sorry works? It does. And you should give forgiveness when it comes to, you know, the whole sorry aspect. If they legit made a mistake, or if they did not, I know I talk about kids a lot on here, but the children, the way you deal with children directly reflects how you deal with adults and how adults deal with you, because we all have the same kind of willpower start to finish. If you want to go to the secular route, the only thing that separates you from the single-celled organism inside a female's belly is time, water, and air. And food, I guess, technically, too. So, I mean, they are you. Oh my gosh. We would have made it, I think, if it weren't for you dreaded inconsistent 4 bars in my USB. That's okay. Against that first world problem kind of mentality coming back. It haunts all of us. We got to be careful with it. But anyway, so I put bug spray on. Everywhere by my feet. And I woke up today, and I can't stop itching. Why? Because all the bugs, all of them, ate my feet. And I have like 10 bites on each foot. This is not so bad, since I'm in the open air. I'm hoping they heal. Whoop, easy. I'm hoping they heal in the next couple days. Oh, apparently we're up here. Because if not, we're going to have a great time in our job, wearing steel-toe boots, or walking around with bug bites on our feet. I'd say that's a life I'm prepared to live for the sake of justice and my people. Hello.
Hello.
My wife, ladies and gentlemen. But it's not a life I really want to, endure. What's going on?
Oh, nothing.
Have you been harassed for snacks?
Constantly.
How about Popeyes? Have another Popeyes. No. It is... Oh, it's 4:50. We did have an early lunch, right?
Yeah.
Sort of.
I gave him some Oreos. But, so Winter must have smelled the Pop-Tarts on my breath and she wanted
She doesn't eat Pop-Tart. Well, she does, but she takes 2 bites of it. She smelled it on your breath.
No, you just had one. It was right after you gave her a Popeyes. I was like, no.
It's your snack. She was asking me for a donut. Can I please have another snack?
I don't have any donuts.
And I'm like, you're going to get in trouble if you ask me again. I dare you to ask me again. She doesn't. She's smarter. She's learning.
I wanted to tell you, she was playing that lines puzzle logic game thing.
Oh, yeah, she loves that
and
thing.
And she's like, oh, this one's really hard. And I look over, and I like, some of the pieces are obvious where they go, and I like moved a piece where it should go. And then I moved a second piece, and then she's like, oh, and then this piece goes here, and this piece goes here, and this goes here, and this goes here, and this one goes here. And I was like, so
brainchild.
Hard.
This one's so hard. I have to pick up the moves and do them. It's like, it's so hard to eat ice cream. I have to pick up the spoon and put it in my mouth. The injustice of this world. We're just talking about affluence, how amazing it is. Like, child, if you only knew, besides the power of the dark side, how ridiculous you sound right now. Boom. Hello, tiny waif.
Hello. I'm going back downstairs.
Alrighty. You go. Yeah, that might happen. She's gonna read her book till she falls asleep. Anyway, this is kind of like my my real life blog, sort of. Mixing Spiral Nights with reality. Do we dare do this thing? The best part is trying to negotiate the 3-year-old to stay balanced. Like, we went on a canoe. So if you've never been on a basically a couple pieces of wood on the water, it's pretty amazing. If you get up, the first rule is nobody stands up. It's like worse than a buoy. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But the little life-saving ships. Is this spawn monsters if I pick this up? So it's worse than that. You can literally rock the thing by just being... And she almost did a couple times. Luckily, she listened to me. I was happy about that. But it would... You know what? We're gaining trust. I watched PJ Maxx with her a couple minutes ago before I came up here. It's important that you watch the same things your kids do. Just like this, if you want to have a really close friend, it's important that you guys have some common interests. Do things with your friends. I used to invite everybody to the movies every week. Now, we can't do that because, morality is politicized and everyone has to wear a mask in Pennsylvania, as of this video anyway, when they leave their house, which we are not doing. So, maybe I'll have to do my videos from jail because we're not putting on a mask that doesn't have any, strong scientific basis for being a part of things, except for the same reason I guess the scientific basis for identifying your Jewish race on your arm did for the Socialistic Party in Russia or Germany. Good job, Brain. You botched that one. Anyway, it's just my opinion again. This is the thing, though. The autonomous name, my body, my choice, right? Isn't that supposed to go the whole way around, or is that only when you're trying to kill the unborn children of this world? Like help me out, because the mask doesn't necessarily protect you. Like, there's a sign, right? Excuse me for this tirade in the midst of actual, good wholesomeness. There's a sign that says, your mask protects me, my mask protects you. Well, actually, that's sure. First off, it doesn't stop the spread of anything, specifically a virus. Secondly, if you put anything closely on your face, which is not meant to have anything on it, it's actually kind of doing you a detriment, because it's destroying your pH level in your blood. And then it's also like you're gonna break out a lot, especially if you're in a warehouse environment where you sweat. Thirdly, asking children to engage in this process is horrible. Fourthly, it offers so much separation. Even if you do or do not use it, people just avoid eye contact because they don't want to have conflict over this thing in public, of whatever side of the aisle you're on. So no one talks to each other in public anymore, which is again why I can't take it. So I just I offered, you know, there's a coffee house which has optional mask policies. It was like, tomorrow I'm gonna have people meet me there, because we should talk, like, just for discourse. Literally, that's all what it's for, just to talk about the cultural issues. And cops come in there too, and they're looking at these rules like, they're shrugging their shoulders. Like, what are you gonna do? You gonna call 911 because someone's not wearing a mask, or are you gonna save that with our defunded police to, you know, stop the guy beating his wife in the inner city? I mean, like, this is so petty. But anyway, hey, thanks for watching. You guys enjoyed it. Click the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future. Look at that happy bird. That just makes you happy. I'll see you next time. Take care.